As you all know, when it comes to this particular trial or case right here, you're going to start seeing, unfortunately, his face a little bit more often. And I'm talking about John Lee Coward, the murderer who killed Nia Wilson and almost killed her sister, Latifah Wilson, a couple years ago. So I believe the trial is coming up very soon, if I'm not mistaken. I think it starts sometime this month. I have to go and look and see what the date is. But this update actually came out on December 31st, of course, New Year's Eve. And I just happened to find it today on January 3rd, 2020. And they are doing exactly what every person or every defense attorney tries to do when it comes to a case like this. So in case you haven't heard, and you probably haven't, the defense attorney for John Lee Coward wants to move the case to another venue so there would be a chance that he will have a fair trial. They do this shit every single time, all the time. They tried to do it with Amber Geiger and it didn't work, but shit, with the way that particular case turned out, they might as well have moved it. So I'm going to go ahead and read just a portion of this article because I already looked through it, but the second part of it just goes back and rehashes what led up to him being on trial. It says, the lawyer for a transient man charged with murder for the fatal stabbing of Nia Wilson at the MacArthur BART station in Oakland last year has asked that his trial be moved out of Alameda County because she doesn't think he can get a fair trial locally. Basically, she's saying basically saying that he's going to be found guilty. That's all it really boils down to. She wants to move it to a location to where there's a chance he will be found not guilty. See, they were trying all this stuff to try to find him incompetent to stand trial and everything like that to hope that there would not be a trial. But now that he has been found competent to stand trial and they're not going to throw him into some kind of asylum for the rest of his life, now they got to try to find a way to move it to a location where some people may not even know what this trial what happened, what this trial is about, and have some very probably biased people on that jury. They do this every time. This is usually also a telltale sign that they are probably going to hopefully lose the case, but we'll see. In a change of venue motion, attorney Christina Moore, who represents 29-year-old John Lee Coward, wrote that prevalent and persistent news coverage has demonstrated prejudice potential jurors of Alameda County. Moore said 55% of respondents in a survey the defense recently conducted of 470 Alameda County residents said they believe Cowell was definitely guilty or probably guilty of murder, which is over half. Well, duh, he is guilty. And see, she's going based off of that for why they want to move the location. She just basically told on herself. She wants to go to a place where nobody has heard of this case in hopes that he will be found not guilty. Now, wouldn't it be funny if they moved that trial and he was still found guilty? They do it every time. Moore said nearly 40% of those people said they did not need any additional facts before deciding the issue of guilt. They already have set in their mind that this man is guilty based off of just hearing the story. These shocking numbers demonstrate the pervasive prejudicial effects of the media coverage of this case and the extraordinary circumstances that this coverage has created. Is this bitch serious? Let me read that part again. Those shocking numbers. First off, the numbers aren't even shocking. What would be shocking is if it said those numbers and people were saying that he wasn't guilty. That's what she wants to hear. She doesn't want to hear that these numbers are showing that the people believe this man is guilty for the crimes that he did, in which he is guilty. He is definitely 100,000 trillion, million, billion, whatever you want to call it, percent guilty of the crime of murder and attempted murder. But she wants to move the trial to another place where people don't know about this story in hopes that he can get off. They do this every time. And I swear it usually always is with cases of a hate crime. Now, I think they took hate crime off the table. I'm not sure with this one. I got it confused with the Sean Urbanski one, but I think they did. But whenever it comes with a hate crime like this, they always want to change the venue. Now, how much you want to bet that man who went into that rabbi's home and did that stabbing, how much you want to bet they're not going to take those federal hate crime charges off the table, or they're not going to try to move the venue? They probably won't even try to move the venue. They would be a fool to try to even do that. But see, they're still trying to hang on to the whole he was insane, he didn't know what he was doing, and all types of shit like that. Cowell is charged with murder and attempted murder for allegedly stabbing Wilson and her sister, 26-year-old Latifah Wilson, on the platform at the MacArthur station, 9:36 p.m. on July 22nd, 2018. It says that if he is found guilty, he will serve life in prison without parole, or possibly get the death penalty if he is convicted. So it's good to see that the death penalty for him is on the table. If he is convicted, let's hope for the best. And that's all I'm going to read right there, because everything else just kind of rehashes what we already know about the case, about the story. Yeah, but that attorney, she's trying her damn hardest to get this thing to be moving. Like I said, I think the trial is coming up very soon. So they're trying to make this last minute move, because they know if he stays there, and based off of them numbers that she got, which in my opinion should be some kind of conflict of interest, and she should not have conducted this little poll, that lets you know that they have a small chance of a very small window of winning this particular case, because people already have dead set in their mind that this man is guilty, in which he is. They said they even got him on something called lying in wait. That also did not help his case either. So that's the update for John Lee Coward. Of course, with the trial approaching, you will be getting constant updates from me as far as this case goes. Y'all let me know what you think, and I'll talk to you in the next one.